Okay, now who'd like to know some tips on how to write ads that sell? Anyone? That'd be helpful? Okay, I'm going to do this off the top of my head, so you'll have to take good notes. We will go through these more in depth later on, but I'll just do this one off the top of my head. Okay, so the number one thing that has the most effect on an ad is the headline. The headline should take up 20 to 25% of the space of your ad. It should do one of two key things. It should either A, promise a benefit, or B, solve a problem. So here's a couple of example moments of that. Here's 5 ways that you can. Don't buy another Ducati until you've read this. Now also some other key things, and if you can identify your target market, that's a good thing. So if you're targeting dentists, you might go, dentist, have you considered? If you ask a question, you'll get a higher response rate because you engage the brain and you get people thinking, do I want that? The next key thing is we need to grab people's attention. So an outrageous or an attention-grabbing photo. And the photo should be, photos of people perform far better than photos of inanimate objects. So if you have a look through the yellow pages or through the paper, and you have a look, typically your eyes will be drawn to the photo of where there's people. So always put some people in your ad, and if you can put them enjoying the benefits of your service afterwards, that's what we want to sell. So we want to sell that emotional response, or what people feel like once they've got your product or service. The next thing we need, and Dan Kennedy, who's the world's greatest marketing guru, he's created more business millionaires than anyone else, his number one tool that he says if you took away all his marketing tools and just left him with one thing, it would be a killer offer. So something that you can offer to your clients that's going to get them up off their butts, away from their competitor, and come and take or use your service. Now, a good example for this, if you had a hair salon. Do we have any hair salons, beauty salons? Okay. So if you had a hair salon, let's say, I'll just run through some numbers quickly. You might offer 20 people a free haircut. Would that be a good deal? Would you come and see this lady for a free haircut? Or a free makeover? Okay. So if, for example, a haircut was $50 and you kept someone for 3 years and they came every 5 weeks for a haircut, now that person is now worth lifetime value, they're worth $500 a year for 3 years, that's $1,500. So if you gave away 20 free haircuts, all we've got to pay for is the variable cost of your time to do them. So if you were paid $50 an hour, or $40 an hour for example, times those 20 hours, it would cost you $800. If we only retained half those customers, so 10 of them, how much money have we now generated over the next 3 years? 15 grand. And can you do that over and over again? Okay, so have a think about what you can offer to your customers that's a killer offer that's going to get them in and be willing to either break even or maybe even marginally lose money to get them on board and to market to them over and over again. Because once you get them, you can then also implement your referral strategies, which we're going to teach you later on, to get more people back into the business. Okay, the next key thing, we need testimonials. So a testimonial should typically have 3 key things on it. Number 1, the person should have a problem. Number 2, they should be likable. They should use your service or product to solve their problem. And then they should describe what life is like afterwards now. Okay, so and testimonials should never be blind. Okay, so if you just put Joe Boggs, blah, 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 from a rate, far better to have a photo of Joe, where he lives, maybe what service or product he purchased from you. And if you ever, you can, another key thing in your ads, if you're doing flyers, you pay for both sides, so use both sides of the real estate. And if you're struggling to come up with something, then put testimonials on the back. The next key thing that we need is people buy on benefits rather than features. So I'll just illustrate that. If you were buying a lawnmower and it had a 9-volt spark plug, is that a feature or a benefit? It's a feature. So what's the benefit of a 9-volt spark plug? Starts every time, starts first go, starts in the rain. Okay, it's got a titanium blade. Is that a feature or a benefit? Feature. What's the benefit of a titanium blade? Yep. Lasts longer, doesn't need sharpening, cuts the same way. It's got a 20-litre catcher. Feature or benefit? Feature. What's the benefit? Yeah, you don't have to empty it so often. Okay, so people buy on benefits. So if you are going to put features in, make sure you got the benefits as well. The next thing we need is a specific call to action. So phone Rose right now on blah, 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 to get your free barbecue, free haircut, CD when you come in. And if, for example, you put a lady's name, you'll get a higher response rate than if you get a guy's name. Don't know why that is. It's just a fact, and it's borne out by a lot of research throughout the UK, the States, and so we have Martina in our office. We don't really. Okay, so the next key thing, make sure that your phone numbers are much bigger. And another good thing to do is to create involvement in your ads. So if you have a look at most of the ads that, or you'll see further on, they have what's called copy doodles. So, just steal that. If you go to page 43, you'll see an ad or a sales letter here for our, sorry, I'm still there. If you see here, we've got the heading for them, these numbers here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, the arrows, first, second, and on the back, the PS. They're actually what's called copy doodles, and they give a personalised look and feel to the ad, and they help to create involvement, and you'll typically either double or triple your response rate just by doing that. Now you can either do those in your own handwriting, or there's a CD, a program that you can buy called Copy Doodles that we bought from the States that you can buy for like $190 US, and it will actually do them all for you. Okay, so that was just a quick insight into how to write ads that sell.